In her sunlit kitchen, Margaret's hands are deep in potting mix, a peaceful moment with her plants. She cradles a fiddle leaf fig, gently coaxing it into a new pot, a picture of serene domesticity. The rich, dark soil contrasts with the vibrant green of the fig's broad leaves. A sudden ping pierces the calm, a notification flashing on her nearby phone. Margaret pauses, her brow furrowing slightly as she glances towards the device. The simple sound hints at an interruption to her quiet, green-filled world. On Margaret's phone, a friend request glows, promising connection. A handsome man smiles from the profile picture, his perfection almost unsettling. He leans against the digger, a rugged backdrop to his polished image. Mining engineer. Widower, the profile reads, hinting at stories untold. Love, sunsets, and honest hearts, the narration whispers. A promise or a deception? Margaret's choice hangs in the balance. A digital gamble with unknown stakes. Margaret stares at the fig in her hand, her expression a mix of skepticism and weariness. The fig looks inedible in the dim light of the kitchen. Margaret sighs, the weight of the world etched into the lines on her face. Another one. She murmurs, her voice barely audible above the quiet hum of the kitchen. Margaret, bathed in the cold light of her phone, sits alone in her pajamas, a digital screen her only companion. Her fingers swipe mechanically, navigating through a cascade of messages from Mark. They are long, florid, and generic. A voice whispers, revealing the hollowness behind the digital words. The glow reflects in Margaret's eyes, a silent acknowledgement of the empty promises within each line. A phone screen glows, casting a soft light. On the screen, a single text message appears, stark against the dark background. Close up on the words, each letter sharp and clear. The message reads, "Your smile is radiant." The digital ink seems to pulse with warmth. "I seek a genuine connection." The words linger, an invitation hanging in the digital space. Inside Margaret's living room, a subtle tension fills the air. Margaret raises an eyebrow, a silent challenge in her gaze. Her unimpressed expression speaks volumes in the quiet space. The room is still and expectant, awaiting a reaction. Her gaze pierces through the silence, unwavering and sharp. Sunlight floods Margaret's living room, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air, creating a serene yet expectant atmosphere. Margaret sits in her armchair, a palpable sense of anticipation etched deeply on her face, her eyes bright with hope. Her hand trembles slightly as she reaches for her phone, a silent question hanging in the sunlit room. The screen illuminates, revealing a new photo from Mark, the name glowing with promise and unspoken stories. A subtle shift in her expression hints at a mix of excitement and vulnerability as she gazes at the image. The light catches the subtle lines around her eyes, each telling a tale of longing and anticipation. On Margaret's phone, a photo glows with a forced cheer. Mark, in a high-vis vest, smiles weakly, giving a thumbs up. Behind him, a bleak, desolate landscape stretches into the distance. The contrast is stark, a forced smile against a backdrop of despair. The phone screen reflects Margaret's own shadowed expression. In her living room, Margaret squints, focusing her gaze with unwavering intensity. Her eyes narrow as she zooms in on the hard hat, a spark of recognition in her eyes. A knowing look spreads across Margaret's face, hinting at a secret memory. A burst of unexpected laughter escapes her lips, filling the silent room. The hard hat sits innocently, oblivious to the memories it has stirred in Margaret. Her laughter echoes, a moment of lightness cutting through the quiet of the room. Inside Margaret's living room, the quiet air crackles with unspoken anticipation. Margaret's fingers fly across the keyboard, each keystroke filled with purpose. The screen glows, reflecting the determination etched on her face. A message takes shape, a silent declaration of intent in the digital glow. The phone screen illuminates, revealing a message from Margaret. Margaret's words appear. "That's a lovely photo, Mark. A playful challenge flickers across the digital display. "Where's your Magpie armor?" Margaret asks. A hint of intrigue. In her living room, Margaret waits, the silence amplifying the anticipation hanging in the air. A playful smile tugs at the corner of Margaret's lips. Her eyes gleam with mischief, hinting at a plan. She glances towards the window, a sense of eagerness building within her. Her hands fidget slightly as she fights back a laugh. Margaret's mischievous glint promises a playful surprise. A phone screen illuminates with a new message, stark against the dark background. The message reads, "My what? The hat is for falling rocks." Mark's words hang in the digital space, a playful defense against an unseen accusation. The hat, a symbol of both protection and quirky charm, is now the subject of playful debate. In her living room, Margaret watches, a knowing smirk playing on her lips. She anticipates the moment of realization, her eyes gleaming with playful expectation. A subtle air of mystery surrounds her, hinting at secrets yet to be revealed. The stage is set, and Margaret is ready for the unfolding drama. The phone screen flares to life, casting a stark light. A text message appears. Its words, a stark warning against unseen dangers. Margaret's phone displays a message with foreboding advice. "Falling rocks are the least of your worries," the text warns ominously. The phone highlights, "It's swooping season, a digital omen." In Margaret's cozy living room, an unseen Mark frantically searches online. The digital ellipsis dances across the screen, a silent testament to Mark's desperate quest. Each flicker of the three dots amplifies the tension, hinting at the urgency of his search. The living room fades into soft focus as the digital search intensifies. The cyclical appearance and disappearance of the dots echo Mark's growing anxiety. The screen glows, casting a pale light that reflects the unseen drama unfolding. Margaret's phone screen flares, words glowing in the dark. A message from Margaret illuminates the night. The screen displays a peculiar image of hard hat. "I'm talking cable ties radiating from your hard hat." The message evokes a sunburst of terror. Margaret's words paint a vivid, bizarre picture. In her living room, Margaret chuckles softly, a mischievous glint sparkling in her eyes, hinting at playful schemes. Her laughter dances in the air, light and secretive, promising a delightful unraveling of events. A subtle smile plays on her lips, revealing a mind alive with cunning and anticipation. The room seems to hold its breath, sharing in the quiet amusement that fills Margaret's gaze. Imagining Mark's panic, she muses, her voice a gentle whisper in the cozy space. Close-up reveals Margaret's phone screen, a message glowing against the dark background. The message hints at quirky resourcefulness. "I'm talking an old ice cream container, artfully strapped on the back," the message reads. The words paint a picture of makeshift solutions and unexpected charm. The phone vibrates softly, awaiting Margaret's reply. Margaret reclines in her plush armchair, a delicate teacup gracing her hands. Afternoon sun filters through lace curtains, bathing her serene face in a warm, golden glow. She sips her tea, the delicate porcelain a comforting weight. A faint smile plays on her lips, a quiet symphony of contentment in the sunlit room. On Margaret's phone screen, a close-up reveals an incoming message, the digital glow illuminating the anticipation. The message from Margaret unfolds, each word a playful jab loaded with visual humor. "I'm talking the full-face, zip-tied disaster helmet," the text reads, painting a ridiculous image. The description continues, escalating the comedic absurdity that makes you look like a deranged beekeeper. The words linger, the comedic image hanging vividly in the air, sparking laughter and anticipation. Margaret relaxes, a gentle smile appearing on her face. A sense of satisfaction radiates from her. She seems to revel in a private triumph. The smile hints at a victory hard won. Margaret's phone screen illuminates, revealing a new text message. A digital exchange unfolds, capturing a moment of humor. Mark's message appears. Haha, very funny. He continues reassuringly. We have protocols for wildlife. The words glow against the dark screen. A silent dialogue played out. Inside Margaret's living room, a palpable sense of tension fills the air. Margaret, a storm brewing behind her eyes, visibly rolls them. Her subtle yet expressive gesture speaks volumes, hinting at inner conflict. The room remains silent, pregnant with unspoken words and restrained emotions. Margaret's phone screen lights up, a stark glow against the dimness. A message flashes, bold and urgent, demanding immediate attention. Her words leap out. Protocols? Protocols? Let's test this. The challenge hangs in the air, a gauntlet thrown down. In her living room, Margaret's thumbs blur as she types with fierce concentration. Her fingers dance across the keyboard, a flurry of motion fueled by urgency. Each tap echoes in the quiet room, a rhythm of determination. Her brow furrows as she races against time, words flowing onto the screen. The glow of the screen illuminates her face, a beacon in the stillness. On Margaret's phone, a stark message appears. You're walking from the site office. The digital words paint a vivid scene of an ordinary walk, turning ominous. To the mess hall. You hear the first whoosh whoosh of wings. The chilling sound effect is red, hinting at unseen danger closing in. The message on the screen becomes a harbinger of something terrifying. Margaret pauses, her brow furrowed deeply, lost in a sea of thought. She is picturing something delicate, a scenario forming in her mind. The room fades as her mind focuses. She concentrates intently, trying to conjure the perfect moment. Her eyes narrow slightly. A faint smile begins to appear. She seems to be getting closer to her goal. On Margaret's phone, a message glows, presenting a bizarre choice. Margaret's words appear. Do you A. Run in a zigzag? The screen continues. B. Freeze and make direct eye contact? The options conclude. C. Brandish your clipboard like a sword? A strange choice indeed, displayed clearly on Margaret's phone screen. Inside Margaret's living room, a palpable sense of anticipation fills the air. Margaret's grin widens, her eyes sparkling with a playful challenge. She waits, holding her breath slightly, eager to gauge his reaction. The room is still, the silence amplifying the unspoken tension between them. A phone screen glows, focusing on a message. The message is from Mark. Mark's message appears. This is a strange question. Mark continues. I am a professional. Margaret's living room is silent, save for her derisive scoff. Margaret's disdain fills the room. Margaret's scoff echoes. Margaret expresses her disbelief. Margaret's scoff indicates her disagreement. The phone screen flares to life, casting a stark light on the unfolding message. Each word glows with an unspoken challenge. Margaret's text message burns with playful threat, each character a deliberate strike. The screen displays, or, Scenario B. It's got you pinned at the ute. The digital words hang in the air, pregnant with unspoken dares and simmering tension. Margaret sits in her armchair, hands clasped, sunlight warming the room. Dust motes dance in the air, illuminated by the bright sunlight. She speaks, her voice steady as she recounts the Magpie attack. A subtle tremor betrays her lingering fear of the harrowing event. Her hands tighten slightly, a silent testament to her unease. Sunlight streams, a stark contrast to the darkness of her tale. A phone screen glows, illuminating a close-up of an incoming text. The text message unfolds, a playful dilemma presented in stark digital clarity. Margaret's message reads, Do you sacrifice the passenger window, or do you accept your fate and call your mate to bring you a helmet decorated with googly eyes? The choice hangs in the balance, humor, and potential chaos intertwined on the small screen. In Margaret's living room, an oppressive silence hangs heavy in the air. Margaret waits, her figure frozen in place, a statue carved from anticipation. The room itself seems to hold its breath, the furniture like silent witnesses. Each ticking second stretches into an eternity, amplifying the palpable tension. Shadows lengthen, mirroring the growing unease etched upon Margaret's face. The air crackles with unspoken words, with the weight of what is to come. On Margaret's phone, a digital silence stretches, heavy with unspoken thoughts. 3 dots pulse, a promise of connection, then fade, leaving only emptiness. The screen reflects a world of untold words and suppressed emotions. A digital ghost of a message lingers, a fleeting moment of potential. The absence of text speaks volumes, amplifying the unspoken tension. Margaret sits in her living room, her face an enigmatic mask. The silence stretches, amplifying the unreadable expression in her eyes. Shadows play across her face, deepening the mystery of her thoughts. A subtle tension hangs in the air, thick with unspoken emotions. The room holds its breath, waiting for a hint of what lies beneath. A phone screen glows, illuminating a stark message. Words appear, fraught with tension. The message reveals a growing rift. Mark's words cut deep. "I feel you are not taking this connection seriously." Each word amplifies the emotional distance. Inside Margaret's living room, a silent tension fills the air. Margaret's eyes narrow, a flicker of suspicion. Her gaze intensifies. A silent challenge. The room holds its breath, awaiting her next move. Margaret's phone screen glows, a message displayed. The words are stark against the bright screen. Margaret's message appears. "Oh, I am deadly serious." The words hang in the air, heavy with intent. Margaret sits in her living room, her face set with determination. Her fingers tap decisively on the screen as she sends the message. The sense of resolution washes over her as the message goes through. The room holds its breath, awaiting the unseen response. On Margaret's phone, a close-up reveals a single text message, its words carrying a weight of maternal wisdom. The screen illuminates the stark message, hinting at the trials ahead. Margaret's words echo in the digital space. "Because if you can't survive a Magpie season, love, you're not surviving a relationship with an Aussie mum," the text concludes, a stern warning wrapped in affection. Margaret reclines into the plush sofa, every nerve alight with anticipation. Her fingers tap lightly on the armrest, a subtle rhythm of expectation filling the air. The living room glows with soft, warm light, illuminating the antique furniture. Her gaze is fixed intently on someone just out of frame, awaiting their final response. A palpable tension hangs in the air, poised for a pivotal revelation. On Margaret's phone screen, the ellipsis vanishes, leaving a stark digital void. Then, a single message appears, cutting through the silence. The anticipation hangs heavy, each character a potential harbinger of change. The message lingers, pregnant with unspoken words and veiled intentions. A digital cliffhanger, poised on the edge of revelation or despair. The screen glows, a silent messenger in the drama about to unfold. On Margaret's phone, the screen glows, casting a stark light on the cold, hard words. Each character seems to burn into Margaret's eyes, the digital message heavy with unspoken truths. The message pulses, "I think we are not compatible." The stark declaration hangs in the air, a digital echo of a broken connection. In her living room, Margaret places her phone down, a subtle smile playing on her lips. Her eyes gleam with satisfaction, hinting at a plan successfully executed. A moment of quiet triumph fills the room as she savors her victory. The soft light catches the edges of her smile, revealing a hint of mischief. In her living room, Margaret's gaze softens as she turns toward her fiddle leaf fig, a silent observer in her space. Sunlight dapples the leaves of the fig, casting intricate shadows that dance on the walls. The vibrant green of the plant stands in stark contrast to the muted tones of the room. Margaret's expression is thoughtful, a hint of a smile playing on her lips as she admires the plant. The fiddle-leaf fig, a symbol of growth and resilience, stands tall and proud in the corner. A peaceful domestic tableau unfolds as Margaret finds solace in the simple beauty of her plant. Sunlight dapples Margaret's yard, casting long shadows from the towering gum trees. A lone magpie, sleek and watchful, perches high amidst the branches. With meticulous care, it preens a single iridescent feather. The magpie pauses, head cocked, surveying its green domain. A sudden gust of wind rustles the leaves, a fleeting disturbance. The magpie, undisturbed, resumes its grooming in the tranquil yard. Sunlight floods Margaret's living room, motes of dust swirling in golden shafts. Margaret stands before a potted fig plant, her expression earnest and intent. She gestures gently, sunlight illuminating her face as she speaks to the plant. "See? You've got to know your ecosystem," she says, imparting wisdom to the silent fig. The fig plant remains still, bathed in light, an attentive recipient of Margaret's words. A serene moment unfolds as Margaret connects with nature in her sun-drenched living room.